Welcome to Light Play, fellow light weavers. A very big warm welcome. So what is light play? Light play is offering you videos and podcasts for your joyful transition into the golden Aquarian age and beyond. Myself, Jane, Lorna and Barry will be joined by cosmic beings who wish to come amongst us to serve humanity and the earth at this time. In this first series, Vywamus, a great cosmic being, and the soul of Sanat Kumara, our planetary logos, joins us to share his light, his wisdom, and a direct experience of the light that you are. Lorna, myself, and Barry have heard the call. We've come together to joyously serve, and in doing so, light play has birthed itself into being to offer you advanced light techniques, a direct experience of being with and working with the light, humour and wisdom, all wrapped up to offer you light play. We invite you to reconnect to the light that you are, to know that you are never alone, to reconnect to the vastness of your being, for our lights to join together so brightly that anything not of the light dissolves, so that you may truly know all that you are, your mighty I Am presence. So that's a little introduction to light play, and we will be sharing regular podcasts and videos. Please do join us because it's going to be a great journey. Sending you all lots of love. Namaste. In gratitude for this space today, inviting, if he's not already here, Vywamus into this beautiful space with Lorna channeling, receiving the messages, Jane asking, and Barry energetically tuning in on the train. So grateful for this space. So opening up with the first question. So the first question is, it is said that those ascending in this lifetime may feel a strong sense of purpose, a mission, if you like. Do each of us come to planet Earth with a mission? And how will we know what it is and when it has been fulfilled?
Greetings, beloved. We are grateful to be here this morning for our third transmission, the third of many, and we're grateful for your question, which is a question which we feel is related to stagnation. All have purpose. All have purpose in all places. We'll use the word places. We mean in all. All have purpose in all. And in a way, the ultimate the ultimate, the only mission, the only energy calling is to return to source. That is the mission of all of us. We feel your question is, do all souls incarnated on earth have a mission on earth? This may be answered in many ways. One way we may answer it is to say that each soul will have a path which they have enacted or are enacting in this incarnation. And each path is unique. So while many will be seeking, probably isn't the word we would choose. It's a word that you're familiar with. While many are aligning, walking the path for each soul, each being, does not necessarily lead to the same place. So we would ask each being to focus on the joy in the moment of the path. So there's a propensity for some beings to wish to expedite the path, thereby missing, skipping, not noticing, not becoming aware of various aspects of their path, which each aspect, each stone on the path is of divine relevance, is of divine creation, is of the divine. So there's a balance of attending to, observing, being aware of. These are all words we would use to help you understand this, of attending to the pebbles on the path. If we imagine or visualize for a moment that the path is, and this is what Lorna sees, so we're using this analogy, that the path is a path of beautiful, brilliant, pure white stones. One can attend to each of these little stones or pebbles on the path. However, there is also everything around the path, everything alongside the path, everything that is visual, that is observable from the path, above the path, below it, within and without it. And here we point out that the integration we've spoken of before is the integration of all things, attending to all things, which is something that many are remembering, practicing, polishing. And so wherever soul may be on the path, their expression of the path is unique. And mission may be considered, may be viewed as, may be experienced as progression rather than destination. The path is, some might suggest, infinite, back to source. However, that's because the lower mind of the incarnated self struggles to comprehend the expansiveness, the amplitude of this length, this journey. back to source. Does this respond to your question?
Yes, that last part. Could you just expand, just say that again, and perhaps just expand on it? That felt interesting to explore a bit further. That
We can. The we use the example that Lorna is familiar with, the Joshua David Stone example of the 352 steps, stages, levels of the Mahatma back to source. Those levels are truth at one level, and at another level, the truth is that each cosmic day is so many billions of your linear time years long. So it is difficult for us to explain it in simple terms, or terms that are comprehensible to Lorna at this time, of the true spaciousness, expansionness of the length of the journey. So the journey back to source, the journey from source is a continuous infinite cycle. When one is able to appreciate the infinite nature of that, even if one cannot fully explain or comprehend it, but one can feel it, one becomes less concerned with where one is, in your terms, trying to get to. One is already fully here. So we encourage a soul to seek to be fully here. When one is fully here now, the expansion can be facilitated.
Oh yes, I'm really feeling that energy. Thank you. That feels beautiful. Thank you, Vywamus. Is there anything else you'd like to say on that before I move on to the second question?
Are we complete on that?
Thank you. So our second question is, for those choosing to ascend in this lifetime, we are blessed to have awareness. What happens to those not choosing to ascend in this lifetime, whether it be consciously or unconsciously? And how do those of us choosing to ascend best navigate our overlapping journey with those choosing not to ascend in this lifetime?
Yeah, we're grateful for your question. For clarification, are you using the word ascend in a sense to mean, we feel, you mean to achieve a level of initiation, for lack of a better word?
Yes. So yes, initiation. So hearing the call and following through the initiatory invitations, and on the journey to becoming all that they are.
We will reference the terminology you're familiar with in you're using at the moment, which is the Joshua David Stone work. And you are familiar with the 7 initiation steps.
Yes.
So many beings, there are beings here who are here to work through initiations 1 to 7. Some are here to work through from 1 to 2 and 1 to 3 and every combination. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
We would, for purposes of convenience and simplicity, say that ascension, meaning what you might term as removal of no longer being on the wheel of incarnation becomes an option at initiation 6 and then 7. At 7, you've the option, not an option, you have more choices. So many beings here are not planning or are not aligned with the plan to reach 6. Does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
There are many reasons for that.
Okay. And so the second part of the question is how do we best navigate, particularly with those close in our lives, those that are not planning to reach 6?
There is no judgment of which plan is preferred. All plans are divinely guided and intended and divine will. Does this make sense?
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
So, as the second part, how does one serve those? Is the universal answer is how one serves the divine is to focus, perceive, acknowledge, respond to the divine in all others, for one's highest well-being and the well-being of all, in alignment with divine will. This is a guiding understanding for acknowledging that when one aligns and holds and attends to the divine in others, one energizes the frequency of that within the other and within one's own being. In a sense, there is nothing to do. There is an attending to that which is the divine.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. I feel that is very helpful. Thank you.
Something about that. We sense your receiving of that, and that is yet another question. There's another question, which it stimulates.
It stimulates a question within me, perhaps because of a personal reference. Likewise, when we, so I will continue. When we love another as we do, and we are perhaps saddened or afraid of their choices or how their life is unfolding, and perhaps they don't have the awareness, and that, you know, it's, I guess it's simply allowing their unfolding. Likewise, it's, for want of a better word, challenging to see someone or some people that you love to be in distress, alone. Yeah, so it's appreciating that, you know, even myself, I had to go through that process. Likewise, watching another that is close to you is difficult. And so the question is how best to support that within, for myself and for them.
We feel this. This may be answered in the now, in the divine present now. There's not one answer. In the sense to attend to the divine present now and ask, how may I serve this being? And attend to the answer. Why do we say that? Because we may, without being conscious of it, be applying judgments or assumptions or expectations or coloring our perception of it in some way, which may not be aligned with divine will or divine intention. And so in the divine present now, we may ask the question, how may I serve now? And this may help to bring these interactions into a, we would say, a more accessible, manageable approach. Since one cannot answer, always do this, always do that. It is a more subtle, it is subtle, it is a nuanced, it is a refined approach. So there are some universal answers in relationships. The guiding principle is to align oneself first, ask the question, how may I serve in this moment? If one's heart is open, unconditionally loving, then the answer will be very clear. The answer will come.
That's beautiful. That really resonates and is very helpful. Thank you.
We would say one other to this point, which is that there are beings who for whatever reason do not ask for help, and yet our help is ever attentive to your call. And one very, not the only, but a genuinely helpful piece would be to encourage others to ask for help. There are many of those. There are many beings in incarnation who are, as you know, earth angels is a term that is often used, many other terms, who are incarnated to help. So we don't just refer to those who are in other realms. So if we may encourage other beings to ask for help, this would be a very useful service.
That's beautiful. Thank you. That very much resonates. Thank you. Okay, so unless there is anything else you would like to say on that question or that series of questions, Vywamus, I will move on to the third question. Is that okay if I move on to the third question?
Yes, please do.
Great, thank you. So the third question is, how might Earth look and be different in the next 3, 5, or 10 years? What key areas of our life will change? Some speak of changes in our food supply chain and our financial system. As light weavers, how can we best navigate these changes to stay calm, centered, and in trust, so that we stay in the light and radiate our light out to others during this transition?
We're grateful for your question. There will be changes. There are already changes. You have no doubt sensed there have been changes many times in the last year of your time. What determines the amplitude, the evolution of change, is each being. Each being's connectedness to the source. The connectedness to the source, awareness of the source, the attending to the source, the alignment with the source. And you'll recall our first conversation where we mentioned stagnation. This is not the only observation we have, that some are in a stagnant state. However, the evolution, the expansion, the evolvingness of the planet is determined by each being. Therefore, if you may encourage others to not awaken, but be alert to stagnation, this will expedite expansion. Your question was how will Earth look in 3 years? It will look as you wish it to look. It will look as you collectively energetically wish it to look. And this is true in 5 or 10 or 20 years. But we feel you're seeking more detail than that. Is that so? Is that so?
I very grateful for this response. It will look as we wish it to look, as collectively, energetically wish it to look. This very much resonates. I think it's probably only the ego, or that perhaps wants a bit more detail. I feel how the response to that question is perfect, of course, and I guess my next question on that would how would one then apply look as we wish it to look? How would we go about individually and collectively we creating what is in our hearts?
We're grateful to you for your awareness. What you are, what you each are, what each being is, already is. We encourage you to attend to what you already are. As the guide to creation, and we've mentioned we creating, we're creating, the we creating is alignment with that which the divine wills. The divine wills as it wills. Aligning with this enables we creating. Aligning with this is the highest, purest, most loving, most wise choice that exists, which already exists. And we would say inherent, inbuilt with that is for the highest well-being of all, as a guiding principle. If all is for the highest well-being of all, this will be heaven. This is heaven.
Beautiful, thank you. So just as revisiting the second part of the question, which is somehow supporting others who are unable to have the trust and so they lose in effect, losing the awareness of their alignment. How best can we support them to believe and appreciate that they are we creating collectively? How can we support? We amongst us here, we have this unstinting, we have what I was going to say, unstinting belief. I guess that's just an expression that I've liked in the past. Of course, what I really mean is we are aligned to divine will, so we have complete trust. How can we support those that are not aligned to divine will and that ensuing trust in the unfoldment?
You have the answer. You have expressed the answer. The answer is to be in your own beingness aligned with divine will and radiate that.
Beautiful.
That is the highest gift. And release attachment or expectation or desire that any other shifts, changes, or transmutes their belief. Because your radiance of alignment is, in a way, the strongest light, the strongest attractor for any other being.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Vywamus. Thank you, Lorna. So is there anything else that you would like to add in as part of that third question?
No, not in this now. Not in this now. We are grateful. We're grateful for your questioning and for your openness and attentiveness and your alignment with us. And we're grateful to Lorna for her alignment also. And for this opportunity to share this information, which we hope we will experience again. Peace be upon you.
Thank you. Beautiful. We are in so much gratitude. I am in so much gratitude, and I know too Barry is on a train, and I speak on behalf of all of us and extend our gratitude.